Hello everyone, welcome back to Ted and Vero TV. My name is Veronica and this is my husband.
Hi, I'm Ted.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Woo, I'm so excited. We have incredible news for you today. It's big, it's exciting. Oh my goodness. So it's a bit of a story, okay? So let's begin. It was just a couple of weeks ago. I'll say weeks, right? Am I correct? Yeah. So a couple of weeks ago, one evening after dinner, I get up to go wash my plate. Normally Ted is so sweet. He would just take my plate for me. But for some reason that day, I just grabbed my plate and I was going to go wash it. And as I stood up and I got closer to the dishwasher, I felt pain in my knee. And the pain was so strong. It was excruciating pain, like someone took a knife and passed it through my knee. But I didn't think much of it. I thought maybe I stood up too strong, and Ted was like, "Did you bump your knee?" It was just the strangest pain ever.
We got this new coffee table and we're not used to the dimensions of it.
Yeah.
And we keep bumping our knee into it. So I thought, well, maybe you just bumped yourself and you've got a bruise on your bone.
Yeah. So he asked if I bumped my knee. I was like, if you bump your knee, you remember.
Yeah.
And I was like,
usually
you remember when you hurt yourself that bad. I was like, no, I don't remember bumping my knee. And I was like, did I bump my knee and I don't remember? Did I bump my knee on the bed frame? But I wasn't sure where the pain was coming from. So I was going to take a ibuprofen, which is what I take normally when I'm having like pain, period pain, any type of pain. But for some reason, something was like, don't take the ibuprofen. So I slept through the pain. I was like, I'm going to go to bed. I think I went to bed early that day. I put like an ice pack on it, wrapped it very tight, and I went to bed.
Yeah.
The next morning, I wasn't going to go to work, but I was like, you know what? This job is new, but it's not really new. I need to go because you can't just be calling out, and I hate calling out. So
you were feeling a little better, right?
I was feeling a little better that morning. I was feeling great. Like there was nothing wrong with me. So I got to work, started doing my work as regular. Clients would come in and I had to get up to assist them, and I realized the pain came back. And my coworker, sweet Nancy, took the initiative. She's like, Veronica, go to the hospital. I'm like, go away. That's something terrible I have. Whenever something is wrong with me, instead of going to the hospital right away, I would just be like, oh, it's gonna go away. I guess it came from growing up in Africa. We didn't have the luxury of just getting up and going to the emergency room or going to the hospital whenever we felt like it.
Yeah.
And so she encouraged me. She's like, go to the hospital. I was like, I don't need the hospital. I'm fine. I was limping whenever I stood up to go and attend to a client, and it looked terrible, let me just say. So finally she was like, okay, you need to go to the hospital now, or we will all carry you and take you to the emergency room. And I was like, okay, I'll go. I couldn't even walk to get out of my desk, off my seat to go to the doctor. So she called some of the engineers, the guys from the engineering department. They carried me actually. One had me here, one had me here, and Nancy was in the back with my wheelchair because they had this wheelchair for the clients at work. And they sat me in it, but they couldn't move it past the door. So I had to stand up, and they carried me, boom, 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 and they took me to Nancy's van because I wasn't about to call 911 when those ambulances come, your bill can be like $5,000. No, I wasn't about to have that. So when Nancy suggested she was going to take me to the hospital, I was going to call Ted, but I didn't want to also have him drive all the way from home. It would have been easy if he met me at the hospital. So I told Nancy, I'm game. Let's go. Where are we going? So we drove to the hospital. They came out, picked me up in the wheelchair. We got in there. They were like, okay, what is wrong? I was like, my knee hurts really bad. One thing I hate about the emergency room is that if you go there and it's not your heart, forget it. You'll be sitting there until that kingdom come. No one will attend to you. I don't know why. When you go to the emergency room, if the only thing that they will attend to you like this, as soon as you get there, if you say that my chest hurt, as soon as you say my chest hurt, they have a bed for you. Yeah. But if it's your knee, your head, your eye, your mouth, anywhere, forget it. They don't care. I sat in that emergency room for like 45 to an hour, sometimes even longer, but I was lucky, 45 to an hour. I was there. They came and they got me. At that time, I had my pastor on the phone. I'm like, pray, my knee hurt. I don't need to stay home right now. I love my job too much. I can afford to stay home. And so he was like, okay, you don't worry. Go in there and check. The same thing happened to my wife, and there was a reason for that. So you just go in there, let them check your knee, let them x-ray, making sure everything is good.
Yeah, so when she was at work and she had this pain flare up again, she sent me a text and said, I'm going to the emergency room. And I'm thinking to myself, what on earth is going on? She had a little bit of knee pain yesterday, and now she went to work, and here she is going to the emergency room. And so I'm kind of alarmed at this point. But I decided to try to stay calm, and I just waited for her to give me an update. And I was trusting that everything was going to be okay. So a couple of hours later, she sends me a text message and says, okay, honey, come and pick me up now. And I was like, what's the verdict? What's going on? And she said, I'll tell you when you get here. I was like, okay. Well, if you're going home, it must not be that bad.
Yeah.
So I get in the car, I go pick her up, and right there in front of the emergency doors, she's waiting in a wheelchair. And I get out of the car and I come and help her with the wheelchair and get her into the car. And she's got crutches that they've given her. I'm thinking, did she bust her knee? What on earth is going on here? So I get back in the car and I'm getting the car into gear and she's getting her seatbelt on. And I look at her like, okay, so are you gonna tell me?
Cheesy like this.
Are you gonna tell me? And she's obviously in a good mood. Like, maybe I need to take a hammer to my knee if that makes you feel so good. So after a couple of seconds of grinning like that, she leans over and whispers in my ear, I'm pregnant. And I was like, what? I never thought that the knee pain would lead to the announcement that my wife was pregnant.
Yeah.
But somehow, lo and behold, it is occasionally a sign that you are pregnant. Because as my wife shared, her pastor's wife actually experienced the same thing. She had knee pain, and it turned out that it was an indication that she was pregnant. And the same thing happened to Veronica. And so that's the news. That's the big reveal. My wife is pregnant.
We are pregnant.
And it's official. And we know that a lot of you have been waiting for this announcement.
Yeah.
You've been asking us, when are we going to have kids?
Yeah.
You've been patient, and we've been patient, but here it is. And that's the story.
That's the story of how we found out we are having a little one. We don't know much details yet, but keep watching. We'll keep you guys updated through the process as much as we can.
Yeah.
Bear with us, pregnancy is not easy, especially in the first trimester. So if you don't see us a lot, that's the reason why. So like, I've been smiling so hard, like my jaw hurts. This is the biggest blessing that we have had.
We're excited.
I've ever had in my life. This is the biggest blessing. And it's just, God has been so good. Who would have thought that any pain, like Ted said, would relate to even pregnancy? Like, I'm going to insert this here for us women. Listen to your body. Oh my goodness. Listen to what your body is telling you. Just pay close attention. Because if I had taken the ibuprofen, which we know is not good during the time of pregnancy, that would have been terrible. If I had taken the Percocet or the Vicodin they were giving me at the hospital because of my knee, that would have been terrible. So I thank God my coworker encouraged me to go in and to check, because I wouldn't have known. I would have been feeling heavy.
But on that note of avoiding the pain medication, you must have suspected that you could possibly have been pregnant.
Yes,
right? And that's why you chose to avoid taking it.
Yeah, I suspected the night before. That's why I avoided taking it. And I think that me not liking pills also was a benefit to me, one way or the other, because if I had taken it just to make myself feel good, that wouldn't have been good, and I'm just so grateful to God for his divine protection. This baby is an anointed baby, and we are so grateful. We are so grateful for you mothers out there. Please, if there is any advice that you can give us, new parents, we need advice. Drop it in the comment. Old parents, drop it in the comment. We need every advice we can get. we know that parenthood is not easy. It takes a village, and so we are ready to have you our village.
There are some other interracial couples that are soon to be parents that we follow. Mike and Matilda are one of those couples, and they've been really helpful already, sharing their journey, sharing some of the pregnancy books that they have used in order to educate themselves about what to expect. And we actually have even purchased most of those books, and we're reading them now. So thank you so much, and we will keep you updated. So stay with us to find out step by step how this goes.
And we do a gender reveal, as you know, the famous gender reveal. I'm so excited, I can't wait. But on this note, thank you so much for joining us again on Ted and Vero TV. And very soon you will meet Mini Veronica or Mini Ted.
What do you think? Do you think it's a Mini Vero or a Mini Ted? Put your guess down in the comments below. Thank you so much for joining us once again and for celebrating with us. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.